Welcome to the Triumphant Magazine show where we present Triumphant Tuesdays. Today we are blessed and fortunate to have in our presence, we actually have Barb Girtman. She is the Volusia County Council Vice Chair for District 1 Councilwoman. So we are excited to have her here this evening on our show. She has been doing such a magnificent job out there in Volusia County. So it's definitely an honor to have her here on our show. You're going to be able to hear firsthand the various conversations that we have. And we just want to say, definitely take a moment to share this video with others, invite them to be a part of this magnificent show. It is called Triumphant Tuesdays, and she's doing triumphant things over there in District 1. So we want to honor her today and also acknowledge her for the various things that she's doing. I am Teresa Jordan. I am the host, the publisher, and also the visionary behind Triumphant Magazine. And today you're going to meet Barb Girtman. As I mentioned, she's the Volusia County Council Vice Chair. She's also a wife. She's a mom. She's a G mom of two grandkids. She's a dog mom and also a realtor. So at this time, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Barb Girtman. So would you please, let's give her a hand clap for being here with us this evening. So thank you for being here with us. We really appreciate it. And at this time, would you introduce yourself to our audience?
Wow, what's left to say? You've listed it all off, but I am Barb Girtman, the Volusia County Vice Chair, and I'm everything you listed. I'm a mom of one son, a grandmom of two boys, and a dog mom of Trek. So you might hear him. He's sitting right here next to me. So let's hope he'll behave himself. I'm a wife to Noel, and I take care of a 90-year-old mother.
Wow.
And yeah, and my family. I live in DeLand, um, and I'm not from DeLand, but I say I'm of DeLand. So my great grandmother, for whom I'm named after,
Okay.
middle name Ellen, which I never claimed before, but now I know the value of that name. So so she bought a little house in Spring Hill in DeLand,
Wow.
and that is so much where and how my heart came to service. So yeah, so that's who I am pretty much, um, in totality. That and a local realtor for the last 10 years.
Well, and that's a long time, like you said, 10 years being a realtor. But I also, because we featured you recently in the Women of Worth, because that's what you are. You are a woman of worth. And it was impressive to find out. I believe it stated that there was six generations. So you want to tell us about the six generations?
Well, again, starting with my great grandmother, um, again, what I'm so proud of is that the little home that my mom lives in today is
Yes.
the home that my great grandmother
Oh,
purchased
wow.
back in the day.
Wow.
So
It's a lot of
it
history.
right, it just made me think about, and then in the 40s and early times that local blacks were working in the groves and doing what
That's
they
it.
had to do, for her to be able to purchase her home and make a life for her family. um,
Yes.
it doesn't, it always stays with me today what effort that must have taken then, considering what we have to do today. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, and it helps us to realize we have no excuses, no excuses at all. And
No
I love the fact
excuses.
that you mentioned that your mom is 90 years old.
She will be 90 in January, and we're taking her on her first cruise.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's beautiful that at 90 you're still doing your firsts, you
That's it.
know?
That's it.
So it's a beautiful thing, and I just feel graced and blessed to um have her still with me.
That's a
And
blessing.
yeah, it is. And there's myself and two girls. And one also lives here in DeLand, the other in Orlando. So we're a small family, but
Yes.
close knit. And again, just grateful that we have each other.
Absolutely. And we just want to say thank you for what you have been doing in office these past 4 years. Thank you. I mean, I see a lot of different things that you do within the community, and they speak volumes for themselves. I know you have your hands in several different organizations, like, and you could tell us some of the organizations, but some of the ones I do know of is the NAACP. You're also part of the Rotary Club, and so many others. So could you tell us the different involvement areas that you have within the community?
Well, one of the ones that just today and yesterday we were able to highlight, and it's my one of my proudest moments,
Yes.
is when I grew up in high school. My first job was in what was called a CETA program.
Okay.
And I never forgot that experience. I never forgot the person, this woman who was over it, and she was very stern, but she
Yes.
was very about business and really getting you to get your life skills, get your employment skills, and understand that you can't take this stuff for granted,
And that's the
right?
truth. That's the truth.
And so I'm on the board for Career Source,
Okay.
and
Outstanding.
Career Source is about employment. I've worked with them regarding returning citizens. But what I also told them I was really interested in having them do is create a youth employment program.
Oh, I love it.
Right. And this happened right before the pandemic.
That's correct.
So,
Mhm.
Robin King is the executive director over the Volusia Flagler Career Source programs,
Yes.
and she made me chair of the. She's like, if you're going to ask for it, you're going to,
Be
the
a
lead
big
of
part of it, the major
so
part of it.
right. So all's good, but I was really thinking a traditional program, and then the
Yes.
pandemic came, and she thought outside the box. So she took my vision and took it to the next level.
Mm.
And
Wow.
what we have today, and we recognized them last night at the Land Commission.
Yes.
There was also a meet and greet, and then they came to the county council meeting we had today.
Wow.
And what it turns out is we had about 200 youth
That's quite a
between
bit.
13 and 18 years old that
Wow.
participated in a youth employment training job skills
What a blessing.
program that the children were paid a stipend for their leadership, their skills, their growth.
Yes.
And a number of them, Primrose Cameron, her Sisters Build
No.
program,
Yes.
Sean King with Man Up, Catalyst, they were Felicia Benzo's Catalyst program,
Yes.
Mr. and Miss from Daytona, and Rel Brown's Rel Black's group.
Oh yeah, from Daytona Beach.
Right, from Daytona Beach. So that's just five. I think there's one more, but
Wow.
what
That's
what
quite
I
a bit.
yes,
That's quite a
that's what I'm
bit.
saying. I was so excited because each 501c3 mentoring and development program that was already in place was
Yes.
able to tailor a program that they submitted a proposal for, to say how they were going to work with these youth to
Right.
develop these job skills. And it turns out with Primrose program, she was able to place, I think, like 30 children throughout the community in different employment
Wow.
environments, businesses, downtown DeLand, attorneys' offices, local retail offices.
That's
So
important.
it really was. There's a pair of twins that work with Joe Hearn's events.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I saw them yesterday, like, and they're telling me, we see you everywhere. And
Oh,
I'm like, you have to be somewhere to see me everywhere.
that's the truth. That's the
So,
truth.
so that is
It's
my
rewarding.
crowning jewel and joy, to see the seeds we sow
Yes.
come to, results and product.
That's
And
it.
I asked them to come to county council today because it's also about letting the public know the work that's
Absolutely.
being done. And Sean King said, this is preventative maintenance, right?
It
This is
is. It's the
keeping our
truth.
kids active in ways that matter to them, that give them value and want to create greater value.
I love
So
it.
that one really uh, uplifted my heart.
And it's
Um,
your baby, and it should, because like you said, you
yeah,
were the
yeah,
visionary behind it. You were
yeah.
the
I
visionary.
love when it comes together in that way. There's also today at our county council meeting, there's
Yeah.
a young man, Terrell Johnson.
Okay.
He owns the Spring Hill Soul Food Grill
Okay.
there on Adel. And for the last year, he's been trying to open a business across the street, another restaurant.
Wow.
And because of where it's located, there's a number of zoning and different
Oh
criteria,
yeah.
permitting and different criteria that
Yes.
were impeding him. So
Right.
I've been working with him to
What
get
a blessing.
right, to work through the county, work through the process. So today he came and his permit was approved.
Oh, that's
and and
awesome. That
and
is
what I
awesome.
really love is the what is called a PUD, um,
PUD.
for urban development. It wasn't only for his, it was an ordinance change. It wasn't just for his business,
Yes.
for other underserved businesses in unincorporated Volusia County, like DeLeon Springs would be one of those
Oh wow.
areas that has a business district, that we be able to use this same ordinance to be able to improve that business
Oh, what a
district.
blessing.
Yeah, so he can be a really good model. But I've been working with him um, to look to see how we can redevelop that whole Spring Hill corner in that area.
Yes.
We have the new Dr. Joyce Cusack
Yes.
Resource
That's
Center there,
outstanding too.
right? And there's some improvements that I want, and I'm working with county staff and others to do at the park that's across the street. I'm also on the board for the Boys and Girls Club. And
Yes.
that's across the street, part of that same area.
That's
And
correct.
I've been working with Althea and the management for Boys and Girls Club. And we're going to tear down the current building that's there
Oh
and
wow.
rebuild a teen center.
Oh, that's gonna be excellent. That's gonna be
Yes,
excellent and so needed. So needed.
yes, because
Wow.
I've just been amazed that so many of the programs do not include middle schoolers.
Wow.
And again, there's a focus, and if there's ever a time when young people need help,
It's
um,
now.
that's it's now, but it's definitely in your mid-teens, right?
Yes, that's
Where you're
correct.
really trying to figure things out. So I'm really proud to be on the Boys and Girls Club board, and be able to bring just some fresh eyes and new opinions to the table, right?
That's it.
So when they talked about wanting to do a new plan for the building,
Yes.
and they would say, okay, we know money is tight, so here's what we think we can do.
Yes.
And I am never satisfied when somebody starts with the least of what they can do
That's
instead
correct.
of the most,
That's
right?
it. We want the
So
most.
right. So I want you to show me, based on the vision we've shared, um, what would be the best opportunity to give the best use, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I don't want you to look at my purse and say, you only have this amount of money, so this is
Right.
what I can give you. I want you to show me the high, the medium, and the low,
That's it.
right?
All
Um,
the above.
if you could raise some more money, this would be fabulous if we could do this.
That's
right?
it.
And if you can't, then we can scale it down to this. And if we get hit by a recession in between, then option 3,
That's
right?
correct.
So I'm just really proud that, you know, what I found myself being able to do is just to get people to rethink and
Yes,
take a broader look at a plan. Just
that's
like with
it.
Robin. Robin took that to the next level. Well,
That's
I
it.
have that expectation of
Yes,
county staff or any of the boards that I'm on, um,
right.
and any of the opportunities that I'm connecting to. I'm like, how do we take this?
To the
How
next
do we
level.
how do we attempt to take this to the next level? And if we fall back to where we started, right?
Absolutely.
So we
Absolutely.
really haven't lost anything.
No,
But
nothing at
but
all.
sometimes there's more there, but we haven't asked.
That's true.
So so
That's true.
many times I'll say to people, you know, if you need something and
Right.
you don't ask for the maximum you could get or the maximum you need,
That's correct.
right? Ask me for the max that you need to really do a successful job and be all you can be, right?
Absolutely.
Right? And if we can't do that and it fails or something happens because you didn't get that extra, that's on me.
Absolutely.
But if you needed something and you didn't ask for it because you were already thinking what you couldn't get and who wouldn't, right? And that falls apart and causes a problem, that's
Yep,
on you because
it
you
is.
never put it on record that you had a need because
That's
you were
it.
afraid of the consequence of asking.
You know,
For me, there's never a consequence in asking. There's more of a consequence for you not asking,
that's
right?
true. I
Because you're
know.
not making people aware aware of the needs. And I've been in so many environments that I've mentioned something that had no relation to anything going on. And somebody says, well, I've got some of that. Right?
They told you
You
they had
don't
some of
know.
it.
Right. You don't know what people have in their pocket. You don't know what they
That's
have
true.
access to. You don't know what relationships they have that can really pull through the things that are important. So I'm usually just planting seeds out there. And I always say I'm connecting, I'm communicating, I'm collaborating, and I'm trying to sow seeds, but I also say like sow a quilt, right?
That's
and
it.
and see that come together to be able to bring the warmth, um, and just keep things moving forward and let people know that you care and that you're doing the best you can.
Absolutely. And I love it, like how you said. I mean, I have a saying of my own, which is part of the Bible, and it says, you have not because you ask not. So, like you said, if it's nobody's fault if you're not saying what you need to have. And like you said, why not start high and then from high you can go down? So that's excellent advice on your part. So thank you so much. And I know the Boys and Girls Club, they are super excited to have you be a part of the board and make things happen out there like you normally do.
Well, I'm loving it.
Yes. So the next question that we have for you is, you also are part of the NAACP, and I know you were very instrumental in doing the Black Biz, like for the businesses and everything. So you want to tell us a little bit about that as well?
So even that is really interesting. Um, so I've participated in a number of inclusion and diversity.
Yes.
And I've been doing it since I really came to service 10 or 12 years ago. But I think the George Floyd really
Yes.
activated the community and the
Yes.
whites within the community to want to do more,
Absolutely.
right? So so at that same time, um, so I'm on the board for the Museum of Art DeLand
Oh, that's true.
and the Fall Festival of Arts, and Main Street DeLand, which manages or tries to help manage local downtown DeLand business, or try to bring programs, or they do a lot of the festivals and events downtown.
Yes.
Um, and that there's also this group called Pride, which
Okay.
is the LGBTQ plus environment.
Yes.
So, um, so somehow it all kind of came together, and we're on a call for the diversity programs, and everybody wanted to do like a training video and so forth, and
Right.
we were working with Stetson through Main Street DeLand,
Okay.
and Savannah Griffin was going to develop a training program, which they did, which was awesome, and had
Yes.
like 50 different participants from
Wow.
surrounding areas, including downtown businesses.
That was pretty good.
Right. But so the leadership for Pride was also going to do basically the same thing. And I explained to people, anytime I'm in an environment and there's several groups and they
Yes.
want to do the same thing, I'm like, everybody needs to pick a lane, because there's not enough of us to duplicate. Right.
Absolutely.
So since Savannah and Stetson have the expertise to do this program, and I was able to get funds from the county and collaborate with the city to fund what she was doing. Pride had already received a grant,
Okay.
and what the suggestion was, I suggested that they do the Black Biz, because at that time there
Yes.
was a lot of circulation around, how do we identify Black business?
That's it.
Where are the Black businesses? Even whites were saying, if I wanted to patronize a Black business, where would I go?
That's it. Where would
So
you start?
where would you start? Where would you go?
Yes.
And myself and Vernon Moore
Okay.
years ago had initiated a group called the Minority Business Network,
I remember that.
right?
Yes.
So so this has always been something kind of in the mindset, a vision, but you can only be so many things at one time,
That's the truth.
no matter how
That's the
hard I
truth.
try to be as much as I can, right?
Right.
So so that was the lane that Pride took on. And
Okay.
because of the Minority Business Network, Vernon Moore was also part of NAACP. So that kind of came together through that partnership. But again, it's all kind of spurring off of the initiation of Minority Business Network, the
Yes.
Pride Diversity Group, and that effort to recognize Black business during that time.
Which is
It's a
outstanding.
challenge. It is, but it is a challenge. My real vision is to solidify Black business and connect them to the local chambers.
Okay, that'll be
And
awesome.
yeah, so eventually, once some things calm down, and prayerfully I get reelected, and I'll be able to connect with some others and help bring that to life.
Okay. And then speaking of the re-election, we mentioned earlier that we're looking at November. It's going to be in November when you go up for the re-election. Is that
Right.
correct?
So I was elected in 2018 for
Yes.
District 1, and District 1 goes as far as Seville. So I cover Seville, Pearson, DeLeon Springs,
Oh,
DeLand, Lake Helen,
wow.
Orange City, and half of DeBerry
Wow,
in
that's quite a bit.
right, in District 1. But you only have 2 4-year terms that you serve.
Okay.
And I, like I said, I was elected, so I'm running for reelection for my second 4-year term.
Uh,
Um, I have one opponent, and so that means I will go to the general, which is November 8th.
Okay.
For any of the races or candidates who have more than 2 in their race, um, they go to the primary. So the primary determines who goes on to November.
Okay.
And certain municipalities like DeLand, their general race is August 23rd. So,
which is right
uh,
around the corner.
right. So some of the municipalities, I'm not sure if Deltona is that way, but certain municipalities, their race is in August. So if um, if there's more than two in that race, and one of them gets 50 plus one, then that ends that race. If
Oh
they
wow.
get less than that, then they go on to November.
Okay. That's some good information to know because I didn't realize that. That's
Right.
some really
Right.
great information.
Yeah. And I see that you've posted August 23rd is the day to vote if you go on the day of election. Um, it's also vote by mail is at this time, and you have to request that vote by mail by August 13th, and you have to turn it in by August 23rd. Also, vote by early voting starts August 13th through August 20th, and souls to the polls, which is usually where the black churches come together and go vote, and take people down to the early voting um, precincts, because there's probably about 5 precincts throughout Volusia,
Oh
and,
wow.
and yeah, and they try to just come together, so they encourage each other, just to make sure that as many people vote as possible, because it is very important, um,
It is.
to the current candidates. The greatest challenge during our elections are people who are registered to vote but do not,
Oh wow. And they
right?
don't vote.
And
Wow.
they don't vote. And the primary vote, it really matters. Again,
It
the
certainly
land
does.
is a big part of my district, and I can't imagine people not wanting to have representation and caring who their mayor is going to be, who their city representatives are going to be.
Absolutely.
I don't tell people who to vote for, but what
Right.
I will say is I know how important it is, um, especially now that I've served these 4 years. I've sown a lot of seeds into our community. I've worked with a lot of our experienced, currently elected officials.
Yes.
And to me, it's very important that I get reelected, but it's
Absolutely.
also important that people who have worked well together,
Yes.
now that some of these things are ready to we are ready to reap the harvest from what we've sown.
Absolutely.
I need the people there that have the relationships where we're not having to start again, because
Absolutely.
most people who are starting new have none of what we've been able to create in the last 4 years.
Right.
So, and it's
It's
nothing
important.
against anybody at all, because I am really excited that people want to run and want to be part of
Yes.
um, of this whole madness, because it
Absolutely.
can be, but it can be very rewarding also. And I mean, I love working with people who are interested, but it's difficult if you just show up one day and want to represent, and you haven't been a part of any of the experience. You have no experience in any of the political environment, or the boards, or any of the things that impact and make a difference, because you just don't show up and become trusted. You just
No.
don't show up and have the experience and understanding of what's going on. um,
Absolutely.
Before I ran for the position in 2018, I say I ran for 5 years, right? I
Right.
served on the West Volusia Hospital Authority for 4 years, and I volunteered and served in our community,
Yes.
in for the last 10 to 12 years. I've served on numerous boards. I've done the work to represent, and I've done
Absolutely.
the work to understand where some of the needs are, and create those relationships of trust where people got to know my heart and why I was here, and that it wasn't about me. It was really about wanting to create an environment, and
Absolutely.
be the change that I'm expecting in someone else.
I love it. Be the change that we want to see in this world. I love
Right.
it.
Right.
I love it. And that's important, like you said. And like you said, it's important for people to get out there and vote. Like you said, we don't want to wait till November. We want to go ahead and start doing things now, which is going to be Tuesday, August 23rd. So
Right.
thank you so much for sharing
Well,
that. We definitely,
August 23rd really sets up November 8th, right?
okay.
So on the
That's true.
Democratic, like for my race and local races, we are not partisan. So we're not by Democrat or Republican or independent.
Okay.
So because local is local. Local's about issues and
Yes.
results, in my view. When you get to the state and federal, that's where it comes down to Republican and Democrat. And if there's more than one Democrat in the race, then August 23rd determines which Democrat will go to November.
Oh,
Same thing
wow.
with the Republican. If there's more than two in the race or more than one in the race, that's what gets determined August 23rd and determines who's going to challenge the Democrat and who's going to, challenge the Republican. So
Well,
that's why the primary exists. But
it's
again,
important.
there are nonpartisan races that are also on August 23rd. The chair for the county council, because this is a redistricting year, 6 of us are on the ballot.
Oh, wow.
So the only person who doesn't have to run this year is the chair.
Okay.
So there's a race for at large that's on the ballot. There's a race for Deltona for county council that's on the ballot, and there's one for like the Ormond area. Those 3 will be on the August 23rd ballot. So there are nonpartisan races that
Wow.
everybody can vote for. Doesn't matter Republican, Independent, or Democratic.
Oh, wow. That's good information. Excellent information. So thank you for passing that information to us as well.
Sure.
And anything else at this time that you would like to share with the audience?
Well, what I like to share is why I'm running for reelection,
Yes.
and it's really because, as I mentioned, I've sown seeds throughout our community for the last 10 to 12 years, really,
I
but for the
believe you.
last 4 years in this role, as District 1 Councilwoman, there's a lot that I've invested, but I also came to this position with intent,
Yes.
right? So I came intending to impact infrastructure and roads for West Volusia because I always felt there hadn't been enough investment.
And
So,
that's true.
so this year, just July 1, I became the chair for what's called the Transportation Planning Organization,
Okay.
which means that I'm one of those holding the gavel when it comes time for decisions to be made or input to be made regarding roads and infrastructure for this year.
Oh, that's
So
outstanding.
it is because I've worked these 4 years to also create the relationships with the people to improve, right, how
That's
we
it.
go forward, because so many things have been just in a different mindset, like
Yes.
a stuck and more focused on the barriers than the opportunities. And I'm never going to go forward that way, right?
No.
I'm always looking for the opportunity to move something forward. If I have to go over it, around it, under
All
it, through
right.
it, you
I
know,
love it.
I
I
don't.
love it.
I think we get to a place, women of a certain age, we're like,
Yes.
no excuses.
No.
Ask for what you need, what you want, and work with what you can get and keep it moving.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
So I've worked with that mindset, just to bring about positive change and get people to move from their own comfort, you
That's it.
know, and
Have
from what
to.
we've known, and to bring some fresh eyes and some new perspective, because
Yes.
there's been a lot going on. We went through a recession. We went through so many hard times.
Yes.
And I saw that through the government staff that they were stuck for so long with lack and
Yeah.
not that they really got stuck in their psyche, and I could tell the morale of a lot of the people when I first got there. So I really worked to smile and uplift them and inspire them
Yes.
and um and I have seen such a shift of energy
I believe
over
it.
these 4 years. And it's not all about me, but I know I plant seeds of grace, joy, and inspiration. And I
You
do
do.
it intentionally, right?
Yes, you
And
do.
so my word from this point forward is about being intentional. What
Yes.
I do and what I have done to serve is intentional, right?
Yes.
And that's what I want for these next 4 years. I've I have worked with a lot of great people. Um, and even when people are working against me, I'm working for them because
Absolutely.
I can show them better than I can tell them. So
Absolutely.
most time I don't even share a lot of what's going on or the
No.
opportunities that are right at the brink,
Yeah,
right? Because everybody's not ready to
that's
hear it,
true.
you know and sometimes they want to take those words and you know turn them
Right.
otherwise. So I rather
Absolutely.
be effective
Yes.
and let people see the results of it and get to say, oh, that's why, or that's what she was doing, or um but I'm really excited for many of the things that we've worked on. I'm excited to see people like yourself and the
Thank you.
investments that you're making
Thank
in
you.
yourself. And I've been here with you. I've seen
Yes.
your growth. I've
Yes.
seen, you've just been so confident and so intentional
Well,
and
thank
moving
you.
things forward. And I love that. And there's so many Teresa's out there. There's so many,
That's it.
Primrose Camerons and
Absolutely.
Felicia Benzos, and there's so many of us that we create a quilt when we come together in our own way of
Absolutely.
wrapping our arms around a community and continuing to sow the seeds while we inspire and uplift each other.
I love
And
it.
that's where I'm coming from with this. I don't have any other agenda other
No,
than, you know, to be that, to share that,
that's
and
it.
to encourage others to be that.
And listen, it doesn't fall too far from the tree. We get that from you. So like you said, we've been watching you as well, the amazing and incredible things that you're doing. And like you said, you've been intentional from the very beginning. And it didn't just start 4 years ago, 2018. Like you said, it's been, 10 to 12 years, even beyond that. So we thank you for all the hard work and diligence that you do out there as well. And then I also want to mention that I know you have the internet. So tell us the great news, just in case some people didn't hear about it, about what's going on with the internet, because that's huge.
The broadband. Oh,
Yes, the
yes.
broadband. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So that was also one of my concerns because, like I said, I have Seville, Deleon Springs, Pearson, and um, that area has, especially through the pandemic, it was really identified the weakness in their access to internet.
Yes.
So just last week before, 2 weeks ago, um, a contract was approved
Yes.
for Spectrum
Quick.
to be our agency that will install the wires for those areas to receive internet. And actually, Volusia County wide, the unmet need,
Yes.
right? Those
Yes.
areas that did not have. But what I'm also proud of is that we added a component, or I asked staff to add a component where Spectrum would also be required to add a community component based on the community needs.
That's
And
awesome.
what that looks like is them offering discounted internet service, doing computer programs. So I'm hopeful that our new teen center will be able to get some
That's it.
computers in there for Spectrum.
That's
Um,
gonna be
look,
awesome.
I'm planting that seed out there. They have not
That's
said
it.
that. I'm planting the
Listen,
seed.
Spectrum, we need some computers.
Right, right. So I'm just excited because
Yeah.
again, I'm not shy or bashful for asking, right?
No,
If I can't have it, then let me know. But
that's it.
I don't take no very easily. And
We're persistent women.
yeah, we are, but it's all through love and intention, and rarely
Absolutely.
is it for our own benefit, you
No,
know. So,
never.
but that's the part that, like I said, just keeps me encouraged and inspired, and makes me get up and do it again the next day.
That's it. Well, we appreciate, like I said, what you do, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to having the broadband come out very soon. Now, the other question that I have for you is, it's thundering a little bit over here, so hopefully we should be good to go. But
Okay.
the other question that we have for you is, I know you on the side you also are a realtor. You have your own business, so we want to go into that about the B Realty Corp. So I know there's a lot of great things that are going on out there. So if you can just bring some of the highlighted things to us today, if you don't mind, please.
Well, I'm excited. I've been a realtor for the last 10 years, and
Yes.
have a lot of acknowledgments for the work I've done as realtor, and working with a number of customers, um, and I will say, what I am seeing is a slowdown in the market. So
Okay.
I think at one time everything was at a fevered pitch, and I could see things, the momentum slowing down, and perhaps maybe even prices stabilizing.
Yes.
I noticed homes are staying on the market a little longer. So if
Okay.
you're a buyer, you have a little better opportunity, um, to make a decision, and maybe you're not dealing with, prices over the listing price, and
Oh yeah.
having to deal with a lot of the same challenges with the new development. New development is a lot of the concern out there. So if we kind of get stabilized, maybe we'll be able to manage that a bit better as well. Interest rates have gone up. Uh,
Okay.
still, um, even with interest rates going up, they stayed low so very long.
That's the truth.
It used to be, it was 18%, 10%, 8%. I think we're ticking up near 6.
Oh wow. It has went up.
It has gone up. So,
Wow.
and that impacts your ability to purchase, but there are still good programs out there. I'm also on the board for affordable housing,
Okay.
and so there are some tools and initiatives that are out there for first time home buyers, also for people who, there still may be dollars out there for someone who needs some rapid rehousing, or if
Oh.
they're having issues with their rent,
Okay.
keeping their rent paid, due to the pandemic or due to other conditions.
That's
There still
outstanding.
may be some resources through the community service program at the county. So there's some good opportunity out there. I'm also proud, and I know this isn't realtor related, but it is, because it is about keeping people in their homes. Uh,
Yes.
we received funds that had to do with COVID, and
Okay.
we reserved 2.5 million to put towards
Oh, that's pretty good.
affordable, affordable housing, but $4 million we reserved to help seniors and those who qualify to stay in their home. And what that focuses on is, sometimes people need a roof. Maybe
Yes.
they're having leaks. Maybe they're having bad windows, or AC without AC, or some of those heavy or high cost maintenance issues,
Yes.
um, people who qualify may be able to get help with those issues.
That's
So
excellent.
it is. It is. There was a like a 3-year list of people waiting for that type of
Oh,
service
wow.
and support. So that $4 million should help clear off that list, but also have additional funds available for help, especially again for our seniors and for those maybe disabled or economically hardships.
Okay. And the best way for them to find out that, would it be getting in touch with you, or is there like a,
Well, they can reach out to me
okay.
at the 386-308-9058, and I'll direct them um,
Okay.
to the county.
Okay.
But or they
Awesome.
can just reach out to the county services.
Okay. They can reach out to the county services.
Or
Okay.
like I said, if they can reach out, if it's somebody specific, they can reach out to me. Again, also first time home buyer programs,
Yes.
they can reach out to me as well. If you're not time home buyer, um, certainly if you're interested in selling your home or purchasing one, I would love to be able to help. I have a team of people that
Yeah.
support me. So when I do have a challenge, I always have somebody that has my back. So we
Okay.
can always get the work done. And
Awesome.
I really appreciate all those who have trusted me over these years.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for furnishing us with all that great information. A lot that I can even take away with what you said. So thank you so much for sharing it. And anything else you can think of before we close out today?
You know,
Any encouraging words or any final remarks you would like to leave with the audience?
I always say I'm just seeking to be the change that I want to see in others. Um, when I when I came to volunteer and be of service, it happened because I was looking for the leadership
Yes.
that I could take something to and try to get something done. And I realized I needed to look in the mirror and determine that I was that person. And I think that happens for others as well. Maybe not in the same lane that I'm in. Um, and everybody's not intended to be a politician,
That's
right?
true.
Um, but I am running for reelection. I do need help. If
Yes.
anyone is interested in volunteering with my campaign, they can certainly reach out to me. If anyone's interested in contributing to my campaign, because I do have to raise funds,
Yeah.
I'm at barbgirtman.com. And again, I ask for your support, your vote, your prayers, because this time I have to do the job, run a campaign, and live life. Last
Yes.
time I was just running a campaign and selling real estate, but now I have to do the job and run the campaign and do the work. So there's a lot to it. I don't take it for granted, and I ask others not to either. It's
Yes.
not easy, but
No.
I do it with joy. I do it with intent, and I do it seeking um, results and on a mission. So
Absolutely.
I don't like wasting a lot of time. I don't have that kind of
No.
energy.
Time is too
So
precious and too
yes,
valuable.
yes, but
Yeah. So
but know that I do appreciate it.
yes, and you said the website was barbgirtman.com.
It's just barbgirtman.com, www.barbgirtman.com. You
Okay,
can always
awesome.
find me.
And any upcoming events or engagements that you would like for us to be a part of? Would you like to mention that at this time?
Well, April 4th in Deltona, at the Deltona Center, there's what they call a hobnob. And what that is, it's for the public to come out and meet the candidates, but also they do a poll while you're there
Okay.
to demonstrate, kind of like a market poll where candidates are faring. That's on the 4th. On the 6th, at New Hope Baptist Church in Deltona,
Okay.
there's also a candidate forum, and I'm told that Val Demings will be there.
Yes.
So there's another opportunity to meet um, the candidates um, at that site. And on August 9th,
Okay.
there's the Land Hobnob, and
Okay.
that's going to be at the fairgrounds. And it's pretty much the same, very similar environment to what's happening on the 4th. All are open to the public, all are free.
Oh, that's pretty
And
good.
right, all are open to the public and free. Again, opportunity to meet the candidates, have your discussions, ask your questions. There are not debates. It's just most likely you get to introduce yourself and meet the public and speak to the public one on one. And then the public takes their straw poll. Um,
Okay.
yeah, or makes
That's
their
that's pretty good.
yeah. I think it is. It'll be good. But um, yeah.
Now,
So.
what's the
Mhm.
best way to get in touch with you to help out, like to make calls or to do anything on our part? What's the best way to reach you?
Anyone, please just reach out to me, 386-308-9058. I'm collecting any volunteers, any information. Um, Typically, volunteers work with me at events, um, do canvassing, like when we get ready to knock on doors,
Yes.
and we make phone calls or text or couple of other little things we do, but those are the main responsibilities or duties.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, like I said earlier, for being here this evening. You heard it firsthand with Barb Girtman. As we mentioned, she's the Volusia County Vice Chair, Councilwoman for Volusia. And we're just so grateful to have you be a part of District 1. We're looking forward to 4 more greater years beyond these 4 years. So, any way we can support you, we're there. And thank you for, like we said earlier, being a woman of worth, a distinguished woman and a woman of worth every single day. So, for the listeners and everybody that'll watch this afterwards, please feel free to put comments in here. If you have any questions for Barb Girtman, put it in here. We'll make sure we're paying attention to it and we'll answer and respond to it as quick as we can. As Barb mentioned, you can go on her website, which is barbgirtman.com, and you can find out the different things that are going on within what she's getting ready to do with her re-election coming November. And once again, we can't put enough emphasis on it. We have an election coming up August the 23rd. Please get out there, vote. Your vote is your voice. So
Yes.
please get out there. Be the change that we want to see in this world, just the same way Barb brought it to us this evening. So Barb, once again, we just say thank you so much. We can't wait to see what the future holds. We know it's something magnificent. So we just say thank you for being here with us this evening. And at this time, we're going to get ready to close out. And Barb, if you could stay right there for me, please. Thank you.